and welcome to LMU Community TV News. I'm Ashley Collingsworth. I hope you're having a great week. Now let's turn to the stories that we have for you today. Gage Smith, a student from Sevierville, will receive a full tuition scholarship to attend Lincoln Memorial University this fall. Smith is among hundreds of students transferring to LMU. However, he is just one of 3 students from area community colleges selected to receive full tuition scholarships. The Trustees Transfer Scholarship is a special award presented by LMU to recipients who are selected by the administration of their community college based on leadership and character. Smith was selected by officials at Walter State Community College based on his academic performance, leadership activities, and a desire to attend LMU. Smith plans to pursue a bachelor's degree in biology on the pre-med track at LMU. In addition to Walter State, LMU will be awarding scholarships to students from Mountain Empire College and Southeast Kentucky Community and Technical College. The LMU Trustee Transfer Scholarships have been awarded since the year 2010. The Lincoln Memorial University Paul V. Hamilton School of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences will hold auditions for the 2017 Appalachian Shakespeare Project production of Moonshine Macbeth this Friday and Saturday. The Appalachian Shakespeare Project is a part of LMU's Arts in the Gap summer programming. Under the guidance of Assistant Professor of Theater Joe Gill and Dr. Natalie Spar, students of LMU have adapted the Bard's Classic into Appalachian dialect, translating the dialogue and changing the setting to East Tennessee. For the program's 3rd production, Moonshine Macbeth transforms one of Shakespeare's most celebrated tragedies into a new comedy. Auditions will take place in Avery Hall, room 114 on LMU's main campus. Participants will be asked to present a 1-minute monologue, preferably from a Shakespeare play and from memory. Monologues will also be available for cold readings for those who do not have access to a monologue. Auditions will be held from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Friday, May 19th, and noon to 5 p.m. on Saturday, May 20th. For more information or a copy of the monologues, contact Joe Gill, Director of Arts in the Gap, at 869-6265 or email at joseph.gill@lmunet.edu. Their performances will take place in Burkhaw Park in the historic town of Cumberland Gap at 6:30 p.m. on June 23rd, 24th, 29th, and 30th, as well as July 1st. Admission is free and audience members are encouraged to bring lawn chairs and blankets for seating and refreshments from home. The DeBus College of Osteopathic Medicine and LMU Sports Medicine are hosting pre-participation physicals for area high schools. The physicals will be held on Saturday, May 20th, beginning at 8 o'clock that morning in Tex Turner Arena. Each area high school will be given a scheduled time to arrive. The cost is $25 per athlete, and all money raised will then be donated back to each individual school as a fundraiser. The purpose of these pre-participation screenings is to meet the requirements for participation as set by the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association, the Kentucky High School Athletic Association, or the Virginia High School League. The standard exam performed during this screening will be performed by LMU DCOM board certified physicians and is based on guidelines set forth by the American College of Sports Medicine, the American Medical Society of Sports Medicine, and the American Academy of Pediatrics. For more information on this event, contact Donald Grigsby, LMU Head Athletic Trainer, at donald.grigsby@lmunet.edu, or Dr. Dwan Perry, Director of Sports Medicine and Assistant Professor of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, at dwan.perry@lmunet.edu. We'll keep it right here because we've got more news coming right up after the break, so don't go anywhere.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Got a quarter? Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Welcome back. Lincoln Memorial University School of Business doctoral student Maria Hahn of Knoxville gained a seat in the 10th class of the Greater Knoxville Business Journal's 40 Under 40. The Greater Knoxville Business Journal 40 Under 40 honors 40 individuals younger than 40 years of age who were leaving an imprint on the Knoxville area through their professional and volunteer efforts. The group of individuals range from physicians, lawyers, bankers, entrepreneurs, and more. Hahn serves as the Chief Marketing Officer at Commercial Bank. In that role, she has managed a rebranding for the bank. Hahn has developed a new logo, tagline, mission statement, and expanded community outreach. Hahn began her career as an assistant regional manager for DeVry University in 2000, where her talent for marketing developed. She ran her own marketing consulting business prior to joining Commercial Bank in May of 2015. The bank tasked Hahn with exploring a new brand and building a stronger market presence in the communities of East Tennessee and Kentucky. Hahn earned a bachelor's degree in business administration and marketing from the University of Tennessee, a master's degree in curriculum and instruction from LMU, and is currently pursuing a doctorate of business administration from LMU. Future goals for Hahn include finishing her own book on marketing strategy and completing her doctorate in December of 2018. With a degree from LMU, she aspires to teach others to be proactive in their management, business, strategy, marketing, and company growth. Hahn currently resides in Knoxville with her husband Robbie and her 3 daughters, Sydney, Kendall, and Blakely. The New Tazewell Board of Mayor and Aldermen conducted business in their regular meeting that did not require a vote. The city held a public hearing on an ordinance that, if adopted next month, will effectively create a new C3 zoning designation for a section of Broad Street that will run between 1st and 3rd Avenues. If adopted, Ordinance 2017-329 will provide what the board calls a flexible development standard for property that is located along Broad Street near the old Big 4 building and is adjacent to the C1 Central Business District. The new section of the zoning ordinance reads that access to Broad Street will be discouraged in favor of access from Cherry Street. Regulations are designed to preserve the traffic carrying capacity of public streets while providing and enhancing central business parking. It is not the intent of this district to encourage extensive strip commercial development, but rather to provide concentrations of general commercial activities. Those prohibited by the proposed ordinance include manufacturer and wholesale businesses. The ordinance calls for a minimum off-street parking that includes angle spaces fronting onto Cherry Street unless alternative parking plans are approved by the New Tazewell Planning Commission. The BMA is expected to vote on this ordinance on the second and final reading during its regular June meeting. The Claiborne County School Board will decide next month whether to renew its sports medicine contract with its existing provider or go with a Morristown-based therapist. Both high schools have been served the last year by Mara Brock and Sarah Bean, who are athletic trainers with the Harrogate-based Pinnacle Performance. Heather Smith, who is the owner at the physical therapy, spoke on behalf of the two women. The primary goal, she said, is to get athletes quickly back on the field. They're trained to to be the emergency responder on the field. They're trained to do a spine board, and they're trained to assess concussions, which a lot of laws are coming into the state, and Smith did remind the board of that. The board of recent liability issues that nearby county school systems are dealing with in regards to concussive injuries and how it will affect future games. The board also heard from Dr. Scott Thomas, a Morristown-based physical therapist. Thomas said that he had the bid in for Claiborne High School sports medicine. Thomas says that he would like to enhance the sports program by enlisting student athletes in performing extra activity with the coaching staffs. He suggested possibly adding an educational element into the classrooms. Well, be sure you keep it right here on LMU Community TV News. We've got more news coming right up after the break.
This time of year, what do you give? When it's your extra concert, game, or special event tickets to VetTix, you're giving our nation's service members and veterans an amazing experience they'll cherish forever. Plus, you're helping America's heroes de-stress, decompress, and strengthen family bonds. Your gift will do more and mean more than you can imagine. This holiday season, don't just give the experience, give the memory. VetTix, give something to those who gave. For more information on how you can make a difference right now, go to vettix.org.
Daisy is 6 years old, and she is my very best friend. I couldn't live alone without her. I spend a lot of time in my backyard. I feed the birds and the bees. I love my flowers. The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. I love them. They're my savior. And I look forward to the volunteers because they've all become my friends. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Welcome back. 3 separate incidents at the Middlesboro Mall led to 1 arrest last week. The first incident occurred when a woman stole over $400 worth of merchandise from Belk. 28-year-old Amanda Hall was cited into court for the theft of the merchandise. 15 minutes later, police were then dispatched to the back parking lot of the mall on reports of a man overdosing in his car with an infant in the back seat. The suspect was identified as 32-year-old Matthew Branham. Branham was not arrested, but he was cited into court on May 30th for the possession of marijuana and endangering the welfare of a minor. As officers investigated this incident, the initial call of the overdose was also being investigated when a man was found passed out in a vehicle with 2 toddlers in the back seat. According to reports, 30-year-old Justin Howard was revived and then arrested following a blood test, and he was taken to the Bell County Detention Center. He was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, first-degree possession of a controlled substance, and endangering the welfare of a minor. William Hickman was arrested Sunday by an officer with the Middlesboro Police Department after he reportedly stole items from his own family. According to the citation, the alleged victims were contacted several times by the family member, 29-year-old Hickman, as to their whereabouts. The report states when they arrived home, they discovered the residence had been burglarized and several items had been taken. It was reported that 11 purses with a value of $3,080 had been stolen. The officer said he attempted a traffic stop, but Hickman refused. A second officer then met Hickman on 27th and prevented him from going any further. All 11 purses were recovered from the truck. In a second citation, it states that during the search to the arrest, several drugs were discovered. Hickman was lodged in the Bell County Detention Center on charges of second-degree burglary and several drug charges. A Middlesboro Police Department officer arrested a man Tuesday on several sex offense charges. According to the warrants, 36-year-old Jerry Smith is accused of human trafficking a victim under the age of 18. The first warrant from December 21st of last year states that during January 1st of 2013 through September 5th of 2016, Smith subjected an underage female to human trafficking and third-degree rape. The second warrant from October 27th of last year states that Smith is accused of knowingly using a communication system for the purpose of procuring the act of deviant intercourse from a minor. The act was allegedly committed from September 24th through September 25th. Smith was lodged in the Bell County Detention Center, and he is currently being held without bond for the charges and two separate cash bonds of $100,000 and $10,000 respectively for the other two charges. Well, be sure you keep it right here on LMU Community TV News as Brandon Burke brings you the latest information in the world of sports from right here on campus to around the region. So don't go anywhere.
So we were walking to school.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart.
want cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't have
I really
another
hope we
bad
don't
day
have another bad day at school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. It's gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back. The Lincoln Memorial Rail Splitter baseball team has officially begun play in their second ever NCAA Division II Southeast Regional in program history. After finishing the 2017 campaign firing on all cylinders, reeling off 11 consecutive victories and heading into the postseason, the second place holder in the South Atlantic Conference standings, Lincoln Memorial dominated the SAC tournament, topping Tusculum, Newberry, conference leader Catawba, and finally Carson Newman in the championship contest to earn an automatic bid to the South-Southeast Regional. 17 days after hoisting the South Atlantic Conference title trophy high in the air in Kodak, Tennessee, the Rail Splitters have now headed to Mount Olive, North Carolina for the opening round of the NCAA Regionals. It was announced late on Sunday night that Lincoln Memorial would be the 7th seed in the Southeast bracket, and on Thursday afternoon at 3:00 p.m. from the hosting seed Mount Olive's Scarborough Field, the Rail Splitters did battle with the 2nd-seeded Nighthawks of North Georgia University. LMU headed into the NCAA tournament with a 33-17 overall record thanks to their burst through the competition late in the regular season and conference tournament, while the Nighthawks have kept it rolling all season long. North Georgia enters the Southeast Regional boasting a 42-10 overall mark and a 6th place ranking in the national polls. Thursday's meeting was the first ever between the two high-scoring clubs, with either Georgia College or USC Aiken waiting in the wings the following day. In the double elimination bracket, the victor between the Rail Splitters and the Nighthawks advanced to face the winner of the Bobcats and the Pacers, while the loser between LMU and North Georgia drops to the losers bracket. With either a win or a loss, the Rail Splitters' next outing takes place on Friday, possibly with elimination at stake. LMU Community TV Sports will bring you a full recap of LMU's postseason play on Monday, but for more updates and information on Lincoln Memorial's NCAA tournament competition, you can log on to www.lmurailsplitters.com. The Tennessee Smokies will once again hit the road to finish off the week as the 2017 campaign continues with a trip to Birmingham, Alabama, beginning on Thursday evening. After getting the better of the Jackson Generals in their last outing, 4-1 on the road a week ago, the Smokies returned home to Kodak and couldn't find as much success versus the Montgomery Biscuits. Tennessee would only come out on top in one of the 5 contests against the Biscuits, as Montgomery took games 1 and 2, 3-1 and 4-3, before taking a commanding 3-0 lead over the Smokies in Game 3 by the score of 7-3. Tennessee would show some fight in Game 4, knocking off the Biscuits 7-1. However, Montgomery would cap off their road trip with their 4th victory in the series, defeating Tennessee 3-2. After defeating Jackson 4-1 and then losing to the Biscuits by the same margin, the Smokies will now head to Birmingham for another 5-game series with the Barons. Tennessee currently sits tied for first place in the Southern League North with the Chattanooga Lookouts, as the Smokies post a 23-17 overall record. Early on in the season, the standings near the top of the division remain closely tied to each other, as the Generals and the Biscuits sit 1 game behind the Smokies and the Lookouts, tied at 2nd place. The Biscuits sit in last place in the division with a 13-27 overall record, as Game 1 between Tennessee and Birmingham will have first pitch on Thursday night at 8:05 p.m. Game 2 the following Friday will commence at the same start time, while Game 3 on Saturday will get started at 7:30. Games 4 and 5 on Sunday and Monday will get underway at 4 o'clock and 8:05 respectively, and to stay updated with Tennessee's busy schedule over the weekend, you can visit SmokiesBaseball.com. The 2017 NBA Draft Lottery took place on Tuesday night from New York, as the top 14 picks in the upcoming NBA Draft on June 22nd were determined primarily through the teams that did not make the 2017 postseason, with the exception of the number 1 overall pick, the most prestigious in the draft each and every year. One day after vanquishing Eastern Conference foe the Washington Wizards to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals, the Boston Celtics claimed the first pick in the draft, cashing in on a trade made with the Brooklyn Nets all the way back in 2013. Already finishing as the top dog in the East in the regular season, the Celtics, who held the first seed in the playoffs before advancing past the Chicago Bulls and Washington, had a 25% chance to secure the top pick in the lottery entering the evening, and the team with the highest odds to grab the number 1 slot ended up the biggest winners on the day. Boston's arch rival, the Los Angeles Lakers, grabbed the 2nd pick in the lottery, as the once elite franchise must settle for a top 6 pick for the 4th consecutive offseason. Should the Lakers have fallen out of the top 3 picks in the lottery, they would have been forced to trade their pick to the eventual 3rd place holders, the Philadelphia 76ers. The Phoenix Suns grabbed the 4th pick in the lottery, while the Sacramento Kings rounded out the top 5. The Orlando Magic took the 6th pick, the Minnesota Timberwolves 7th, the New York Knicks 8th, and the Dallas Mavericks 9th. Sacramento would once again notch a lottery pick with the number 10 slot, the only team to hold 2 positions in the lottery. Finally, the Charlotte Hornets, Detroit Pistons, Denver Nuggets, and the Miami Heat concluded the picks with numbers 11 through 14 as the official 2017 NBA Draft gets underway on June 22nd. The 2017 NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series continued last Saturday at the Kansas Speedway in Kansas City. With the All-Star race looming in Charlotte, North Carolina this coming Saturday, Martin Truex Jr. would emerge victorious in Kansas City, outlasting Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney, and Kyle Busch to land the victory. Kyle Larson, Daniel Suarez, Jamie McMurray, Clint Boyer, and Trevor Bayne rounded out the top 10 behind Truex Jr.'s victory. However, much of the attention in the race came with only 67 laps remaining. One of the scariest wrecks that NASCAR has seen in recent memory occurred late in the race involving Eric Almirola, Joey Logano, and Danica Patrick. The accident started when Logano suffered a break in the right front of his vehicle, turning him into Danica Patrick, sending Almirola crashing into the scene moments later. Almirola was sent to the University of Kansas Medical Center after the scary accident and has suffered a fractured vertebrae in his back, placing him out of action for the All-Star race in Charlotte to be replaced by Reagan Smith. Heading into this weekend's upcoming race in North Carolina, Truex Jr. now leads the Cup Series standings ahead of Brad Keselowski, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Larson, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And that will do it for sports this week, but stay tuned as more LMU Community TV news is coming up right after this.
What do we know about learning? It takes place beyond the pages of a book. We learn by exploring, by trying new things, by connecting, by sharing. We learn by taking chances and dreaming big. At Lincoln Memorial University, learning is beyond the books. It's everywhere.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic. So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Bro? Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It's good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit savethefood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
And that is going to do it for this week's LMU Community TV News. Thank you for joining us today. We will see you again on Monday. For everyone here at LMU Community TV, I'm Ashley Collingsworth. Have a great weekend.